Alright, so here's a little quick how-to video. Putting in some pipe under my layout for running wires in between the track and stuff. Just to make it a little bit easier to feed the wires through, it makes it a little bit cleaner. See under here? Comes out nice and easy. It's easier to thread the wires through. Nice and simple. Especially for Kato unitrack when you have to have the larger connectors here. They fit right in. You can feed it through. I tested, I brought the wire and a piece of track. When I bought the tubing, I actually fed this whole length of wire here through the tube. I pushed it through to make sure it would go through nice and easy. And I'm doing this again to make it easier to put the wires in and a little bit safer, so that way if for whatever reason a wire becomes frayed or crossed, it's going to stay inside the tube before it does any damage to the foam, and hopefully it'll set off your circuit breaker or trip your DCC system for a short before it does any damage. All I did, again, I measured what size tube I need. It was a 1/2 inch inside diameter, which gave me a outside diameter of 5/8. I got the speed bore by Irwin, and what's nice about this is if you do it nice and slow, it doesn't make a huge mess. So you can see it didn't do a whole lot of damage. There, you can see where it ripped a little bit, went through nice and easy, and when it got to the wood, this little screw end bit kind of grabs into it to give you a good start. And then you just kind of hammer it from there, and it went right through. Didn't make a huge mess. This is all there was that came out of it. A lot of it was still trapped in the hole. So all we did was take a shop vac, stick it to the top of this, and it just sucked all the crap right through. Nice and easy right there. And I did the whole thing for $8.85. That was it with tax. So under $10, got me 5 feet of 1/2 inch PVC tubing. That'll do my entire layout. I'm going to add a feeder wire here. I'm going to do one across on the other side. I'm going to do one on this side of the bridge there. And then I'm going to have one on over here where the SD is, and probably one here. There's going to be plenty of feeders on this layout. I don't want to hear any skips in sound. I don't want to have any dead zones or dry spots or even just low power zones. There's going to be plenty on here because they will be running sound and very big engines that draw a lot of shouldn't say a lot of amperage, but draw between a half and a full amp. So older locomotives, and I have no idea what that turbine's gonna pull for current draw, because it's got 2 motors and 2 sound decoders with dual speakers in each one. So I imagine that's gonna be a thirsty one. I might even go so far as to put one on the far corner over there as well, which would give me 3 on the main line. One in between each switch, which is always a good idea, because switches, crossovers, anything where there's any kind of electrical gap, or where they have a tab underneath the layout, underneath the track work connecting the rails, you're going to have a little power drop. So this shouldn't be too bad. I'm only going to be running 1 or 2 engines at a time on top, so 2 feeders should be plenty. And on the bottom, I am going to put one underneath down there, because later on that'll be necessary, and it's just easier to do it now. Plus, if I want to have a light show on an engine with a strobe or something just for display, I can do that. So that's the plan. Again, it's an Irwin speed bore. Works awesome in this foam, and it went right through the 1/2 inch plywood like nobody's business. It just went right through this, nice and easy. It just sucked it right through. If you guys are really interested, I can show you how it's done, so there's no misconceptions, no issues. I just had the drill bit itself, and because I have so much foam on here, I had to use an extension, and at the end I just kept drilling until it pushed through, and then I pulled the extension off because it doesn't lock, and it just slides right out. I just pushed it through until this fell through, and that was it. So nice, easy upgrade for a layout that really can make a big difference, make your life easier, adds a nice touch of security there, and that way if something comes loose, the foam's not going to be sliding around crimping your wire. If it comes loose for whatever reason, if you didn't glue it right or just forgot to glue it, this will help keep it in place. So between this and the 4 or 5 others that'll be in this upper level, I might even just do one in each corner. There should be plenty of security in it. So when it comes to running wires for streetlights and stuff, that'll probably just press into the foam. But I really wanted to have the track wiring under the layout and secure. As for wiring under the layout, I'm going to have a terminal block probably over here, because this will be by the station anyways. This will be where I have the main control console, probably on one of the corners or something, but we'll see what happens. I've got the control block or the distribution block somewhere, and I'll show you guys what that looks like when it's done. This is the Kato unitrack wire with the extension, with the little connectors on it like this. It's beautiful. I don't like cutting it and trimming it and causing a big mess. This is a couple dollars more for a small layout. You're going to spend, maybe 15-20 bucks to upgrade the wiring a little bit, and it's going to make your life a lot easier, simpler, faster. No confusing wires. There's only one way to do it. And with that, let's get it hooked up and run some trains.